Hello. So what we're doing today, guys, is multiplying and dividing terms. Now you'll notice that there is a word missing, and that is like. And that's because when we multiply and divide, we actually don't care if it's like or not like. In other words, anything that's a U, we can multiply with anything that's a U. M's with M's, N's with N's. And I use a little bit of a rule or a little bit of a phrase. I say numbers times numbers, letters times letters. And I say that because when we look down here, we see that there's 2, 5, 4. The first thing that we can do is get all of the numbers and multiply them together. 2 times 5 times 4 is 40. You can use your calculator if you want, it's not a race. And then we do letters times letters. So I move across and I say, well, there's an N. Are there any other N's? No, there's no other N's, so I just copy it down. I keep on going, oh, there's an M. Is there any other M's? No, so I just copy it down. Whereas with this one here, we have 3D times 4D. So I look through, I say numbers, numbers, number, 3 and 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. D times D. Now this gets a little bit crazy. D times D is D squared. And so really what we're doing is we're counting up how many of each of these we have. Technically that's not mathematically correct, but we'll just pretend like it is for the moment. And if we move through here, we look through and we see 2, 3, and then brackets. Brackets. What do we do with brackets? Well, the brackets are there just to show you that that minus belongs to the 5. So this is just 2 times 3 times minus 5. And then I say, well, G's, are there any other G's? No. Are there any other H's? No. Are there any other F's? No. So when you see brackets around something like this, and there isn't an operation, a plus or a minus, inside, or a times or a divide even, inside the brackets, well then it's just because there's a minus there, and they want to keep the minus next to the 5. So let's work that out. 2 times 3 times minus 5, that's 6 times minus 5, minus 30. G, H, Is that easy? I hope so. But the thing is, it's not just numbers times numbers, letters times letters. It's actually numbers divided by numbers, letters divided by letters as well. So it's not just for times, it's for divide as well. So let's have a look at a couple of divide ones. Now, there's a little bit of a thing here. The first thing I do is I put them into fractions, because when they're fractions, we can see it a lot more easily. We see here that 15 ABC over 3 ABC, and we're asked to simplify the expression. It's an expression because it has no equal sign, and simplifying just means make it smaller. We see numbers divided by numbers, so what's 15 divided by 3? Can we do that? If we whack that in our calculator, or we know, we'll see that that equals 5. Sometimes it might be a fraction. And if it's a fraction, we just leave it as it is. You'll see that later anyway. But the next thing we do is A, and then we see it's divided by an A. So what is A divided by A? In other words, how many A's are there in A? In this case, there are A lots of A. There is one lot of A in A. And so they cancel out and make 1. Because I think 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. B divided by B is 1. Oh, I just gave you the next one. B divided by B is 1. And then C divided, well, it's not divided by anything. Now I put those ones there just to show you that Anything divided by itself cancels out to make 1. But we don't actually usually put them in, because this 5 times 1 just equals 5. 5 times 1 equals 5. So 5 times C, the answer is 5C. And what we would usually do when we look at this one is we'd say 15 divided by 3 is 5. A and A cancel out. B and B cancel out. C's left over. C's on the top. These ones are a little bit harder. So let's do another one. Let's do B down here. A squared B over 4AB. Now, straight up I look at the top, I see I've got A's and A's, B's and B's, but I've got A squared up here, and I've got just A down here. So I've got 2 A's up the top, 1 A down the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 A from the bottom, I'm going to take 1 A from the top, and we have 1 left over. Now I'll show you what I mean by that, because this is just A times B over 4 times A times B. Now when we see it this way, if I take 1 from the bottom, I take 1 from the top. The B, I take 1 from the bottom, I take 1 from the top. And what have we got left? We've got 1A left, and we've got 1 4. And so our answer here is A on 4. Or 1/4 A. Now this one here is 27CF divided by, remember, see those brackets again? Minus 3 FC. I'm going to put this as a fraction because I like them better as fractions. 27CF over minus 3 FC. And in the same way here, I'm not going to put times in between because it stands to reason that they exist there already. We know that. So numbers divided by numbers, 27 divided by minus 3 is minus 9. Now, if you didn't know that, you can make that in your calculator, but hopefully you do. There's a C down on the top, there's a C down the bottom, so cross 1 from the bottom, cross 1 off the top. They're gone. There's an F on the bottom, there's an F on the top, cross 1 off the bottom, 1 off the top. So what have we got left? It's just minus 9. Here we have 5p squared divided by 15p. 5p squared divided by 15p. And so this one's a little bit different because 5 divided by 15 doesn't cancel out to a whole number. It actually cancels out to a fraction. It cancels out to a fraction of 1/3. Sorry, I was about to say 1/5. And if it's 1/3, well then that's fine. 5 divided by 15 is just another way of writing a third. We've got 2 p's on the top, 1 p down the bottom. So I'll take 1 off the bottom, I'll take 1 off the top, and we're left with 1 on the top. So this is 1p on 3, or p on 3, or 1/3 p. Cool? Yes.